Why do I care about Halliburton after the mess that BP confronted?
Halliburton, which was the concrete contractor in the well that blew up in 2010, killing 11 people, creating a huge environmental mess. Halliburton has pled guilty to what sounds like a relatively minor infraction, destroying a computer document in the wake of the spill. The reason this is so significant is that Halliburton and BP are still fighting over civil allegations in federal court as to who is, if anyone, is grossly negligent, and billions of dollars turn on that question. And this evidence, that this confession by Halliburton that it was destroying a key piece of evidence, is going to be a huge help to BP, and this could literally be worth billions of dollars to BP.
We associate Halliburton with former Vice President Cheney. I'm going to assume he's removed from this debate. That's ancient history. But the state of Halliburton today, are they being sued like BP is being sued?
Yes.
By the people of Louisiana?
They're being sued by everybody, but critically they're being sued by the federal government. The main arena right now is in federal court in New Orleans, where the Justice Department is seeking billions of dollars in civil environmental penalties, both from Halliburton and from BP, and we've got a finger-pointing exercise where the companies are trying to push the liability onto each other.
To the drama of Steve Cohen, and we sort of know where those funds will come from the people of SAC Capital. If they're sued for quote-unquote billions, where does that money come from? Insurance companies? Or does it come from the actual companies?
No, I don't think insurance is going to be paying a lot of this, because most of the relevant insurance policies would exclude liability having to do with fraudulent activity. You can be sure those insurance companies are already lawyered up and prepared to push back against any of those claims.
I like that phrase, lawyered up.
Yep, that's what you do. You got lawyered up. In a case like this, I'm glad Tom actually made the parallel connection between SAC and BP, because it is very rare to be criminally charged as a company. But as I understand it, BP faced that criminal charges and pled guilty.
That's absolutely right, and it's a really interesting contrast, because it shows you the difference between a company that has been indicted because criminality is allegedly pervasive throughout the company. That's the SAC case, versus BP, which is an incident. Yeah, a global industrial company that clearly is involved with a lot of very constructive activity all around the world, and then there's a disaster. And the question is whether they violated some laws in connection with that particular disaster.
And just another example to bring it in is Arthur Andersen from Enron, which didn't fare so well after the
criminal charge.
It was wiped out. And many people have criticized the Arthur Andersen indictment for that reason, because 27,000 people lost their jobs. But what people tend to forget in the mists of history is that Arthur Andersen was a recidivist. Arthur Andersen had been in trouble because of its audits with a whole series of companies before Enron, chiefly with waste management. And Arthur Andersen had promised the government over and over again, we're going to clean up. And that's a big reason why Arthur Andersen went down.